At the beginning of World War II, Germany entered the conflict with the most advanced and battle-ready air force in the world. The Luftwaffe was not designed for long strategic bombing campaigns, but for fast, decisive warfare. Its doctrine focused on close air support, air superiority, and coordination with ground forces during blitzkrieg operations. German aircraft played a decisive role in the early victories of Poland, France, and the Low Countries. However, as the war progressed, increasing Allied production, technological advances, and strategic bombing campaigns placed enormous pressure on German aviation. From piston engine fighters to the world's first operational jet aircraft, German aviation pushed the limits of technology under extreme wartime conditions. In this documentary, we analyze every major German aircraft used during World War II, examining their design, specifications, combat roles, and historical impact. 1. Messerschmitt Bf-109. The Messerschmitt Bf-109 was the backbone of the Luftwaffe throughout the entire war. Introduced in the mid-1930s, it was continuously upgraded with more powerful engines, heavier armament, and improved aerodynamics. Powered by Daimler-Benz inline engines, later variants reached speeds exceeding 640 km per hour. Armed with machine guns and later 20mm and 30mm cannons, the Bf-109 was deadly in air-to-air combat. Its strengths were climb rate, acceleration, and firepower, though it suffered from limited range and difficult ground handling. The Bf-109 fought on every front, from the Battle of Britain to the deserts of North Africa and the skies over the Eastern Front, making it one of the most important fighter aircraft in aviation history. 2. Focke-Wulf FW-190. The Focke-Wulf FW-190 was introduced in 1941 and immediately shocked Allied pilots. Powered by a radial engine, it offered superior roll rate, heavy armor, and devastating firepower. With multiple machine guns and cannons, the FW-190 excelled as both a fighter and ground attack aircraft. It was particularly effective against Allied bombers and later adapted into fighter bomber and interceptor variants. Rugged, versatile, and easy to maintain, the FW-190 became one of Germany's most feared aircraft during the middle years of the war. 3. Messerschmitt Bf-110. The Bf-110 was designed as a long-range heavy fighter intended to escort bombers and destroy enemy aircraft. However, during the Battle of Britain, it proved vulnerable against single-engine fighters. Despite its failure as a daytime escort fighter, the Bf-110 found new life as a night fighter. Equipped with radar and heavy armament, it became one of the Luftwaffe's most effective tools against Allied night bombing raids. 4. Messerschmitt Me-162. The Messerschmitt Me-162 was the world's first operational jet fighter. Capable of speeds over 870 km per hour, it completely outclassed all Allied piston engine aircraft. Armed with 430mm cannons, the Me-162 was devastating against bomber formations. However, shortages of fuel, trained pilots, and Hitler's insistence on using it as a bomber severely limited its impact. Despite these issues, the Me-162 marked the beginning of the jet age and changed the future of air combat forever. 5. Heinkel He-162. The Heinkel He-162 was an emergency fighter developed under extreme wartime pressure. Designed to be cheap and fast to build, it used non-strategic materials such as wood. Although fast, the aircraft suffered from reliability problems and was flown by poorly trained pilots. As a result, it had minimal impact on the war, but demonstrated Germany's desperation during the final months of the conflict. 6. Heinkel He-111. The Heinkel He-111 was Germany's primary medium bomber during the early years of the war. It played a major role in Poland, France, and the Battle of Britain. While reliable and easy to fly, it lacked defensive armament and bomb load compared to Allied bombers later in the war, making it increasingly vulnerable. 7. Dornier Do-17. Nicknamed the Flying Pencil due to its slim fuselage, the Do-17 was fast but lightly armed. It was effective early in the war, but quickly became obsolete as enemy defenses improved. 8. Dornier Do-117. The Do-117 was a heavier and more powerful development of the Do-17. It served as a bomber, reconnaissance aircraft, and missile carrier, including guided anti-ship weapons. German aircraft of World War II pushed aviation technology to its limits under extreme conditions. From early dominance to desperate innovation, the Luftwaffe's aircraft reflected both Germany's strengths and its ultimate failure to sustain a long industrial war. Many designs, such as the Me-162 and FW-190, shaped the future of air combat long after the war ended. This was every German aircraft used in World War II.